What's going on, Alabama football fans? Want you guys to go ahead and join the Noti gang here with us here at Chat Sports. Go back to where you first subscribed. Hit that bell icon and change it from personalized to all. So every single time we put a video out here at the Alabama Football Report, you guys get a notification for it. Do not miss out on any Alabama football news or rumors out there. Join the Noti gang for us and turn those notifications on right now. Coming up on today's video, we're going to do a little bit different type of video today because while it is not Alabama necessarily that we're going to talk about on today's video, it definitely affects Alabama because they have had their fair share of the exact same thing that we're going to talk about on today's show. So the University of Wisconsin is now accusing the University of Miami of actually tampering with former cornerback Xavier Lucas, saying they also have credible evidence for this. Now, this is a very complex situation, so I do not want to just jump the gun and say this is absolutely ridiculous. It's on the player, it's on Miami, anything like that. There are a lot of different layers to this that I really want to discuss on today's show. First up, this is the statement from Wisconsin that they put out on Twitter the other day. They said, on December 2nd, 2024, Xavier and Wisconsin Athletics entered into a binding 2-year NIL agreement reflecting his strong commitment to continuing with the Wisconsin football program. We understand that he also executed a separate agreement with the Varsity Collective that is, I believe, also the NIL program there. His agreement with Wisconsin Athletics included substantial financial compensation for Xavier under the terms of the agreement between Xavier and Wisconsin Athletics. It remains in effect and enforceable, which we'll talk about that here in just a second. The validity on whether or not it is actually enforceable, I don't know. I guess that is going to end up for courts that are going to have to decide on that one. But let me know here in the comments section, what is your confidence level that college football can fix this mess? Because it's been a massive issue throughout college football. Alabama had their own, similar situation with Jalen Mbakwe and an unnamed SEC team out there offering a 7-figure deal. So this is a very big issue, not just for, Wisconsin, but I think for college football in general. So what is your confidence level that the higher-ups in college football, whoever that might be at this point, can fix this mess regarding the transfer portal and NIL? Scale it for me 1 to 10 at the pinned comment of today's video. 1, you have absolutely no faith that they can fix this. Or 10, they're going to put Nick Saban in charge, and he is going to be the guy to bring college football back to his glory days. Let me know what you guys think of the comment section of today's show. This is also what Pete Thamel said about the situation. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of that statement that Wisconsin put out, and they basically said, we have credible information indicating that impermissible contact between Xavier and the University of Miami football program personnel prior to Xavier's request to enter the transfer portal. Wisconsin says a binding agreement was violated. Now, that's Wisconsin's side of everything, and I totally understand that, and I'm kind of, with them on that standpoint there. This is what Ross Dillinger of Yahoo Sports, that he ended up contacting the NCAA offices, and this is what, they had to say about the situation, saying the NCAA rules do not prevent a student-athlete from unenrolling from an institution and enrolling in a new institution and competing immediately. I think that right there is the biggest thing, because what the NCAA is basically saying right there is they have absolutely no leverage here. The only thing, they really cannot do anything. And it kind of brings up the question, is the transfer portal even a real thing right now? Because what the NCAA is saying there, that they cannot enforce any rules. Anybody, any student, any athlete going in any sport right now can just, unenroll from the school that they're at and then end up enrolling at a different school pretty much kind of whenever they want. And this is a really big deal right now, considering, the contractual agreement that he signed with Wisconsin, because we are kind of going to this, revenue sharing type of format here in college football. This is the latest from Pete Nakos of On3, saying schools have $20.5 million to share with athletes. Most are planning to kind of break it down as the following right here. Now, they have to be really careful about how they actually break down the payments there and what's going to what school and everything like that, because you also have Title IX and everything like that that you have to take into account right now. But, the biggest thing for me is, why do we have contracts like this if they're not enforceable? I mean, you're not telling me that the University of Wisconsin doesn't have a lawyer that, before they're prepping all of this stuff, going through the documents and everything and being like, I don't know if this is actually, I don't think we can actually bind anything to this. I don't think there's any validity to this at this point, because you don't see this in the NFL, right? And the reason you don't see it in the NFL is because they have a collective bargaining agreement. And this could be, I think, one of the only ways to fix college football right now. Whether or not it is the best way to fix college football, I think that's also up for debate, because when you have CBAs and everything like that, you also you have to barter with somebody that has to represent the students and the student athletes. And with those CBAs, you see it in, you've seen it in the NFL, you've seen it in all sports pretty much. When that CBA ends, you have to rebargain. You have to renegotiate a lot of those terms. And if you can't come to any type of agreement on those negotiations, you could end up having a lockout or a strike. And at the end of the day, who wants to see a lockout in college football? I definitely do not want to, but with the NIL, with the transfer portal, with the way everything is going right now, there needs to be some big, big changes in college football, because right now, it's not just affecting Wisconsin. They are the only school right now that is really going out and really saying something about it right now, because I'm willing to bet, too, if Alabama, if that report got out, that there was another team out there that offered Jalen Mbakwe a 7-figure deal, I'm sure they absolutely have some kind of receipts that they could throw out there on Twitter or on the internet, whatever, saying that this school tampered with our player right here. So this is a really big issue that we're going to continue talking, because like I said just a little while ago, it is not really black and white, and I think the NCAA has a lot of blame on this, but there's also a lot of people that really need to do some soul searching, I think, in these kinds of situations. First up, though, we're going to talk about our sponsor today. That is Game Time. The NFL playoffs are underway right now, and you guys could get tickets pretty cheap with Game Time. Game Time has a new feature as well called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. It just filters out the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of different tickets to find the best value. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. So last minute, say you want to go to a Alabama basketball game, if they're in town and you're just like, F it, why not? You can get your tickets last minute very, very cheap on Game Time. You got Willie Nelson coming to town here in just a couple of months as well. That could be very, very fun. One of my favorite things about Game Time are the seat views. You guys can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your ticket, so you know exactly what the kind of view is that you're going to be looking at for your live event. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Now, terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. They have last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Now, with this issue that's going on right now with, Wisconsin and Miami, it's going to create a lot more drama than I think a lot of us really, are anticipating from this in terms of, the transfer portal and whether or not it's a real thing at the end of the day. This is what Ross Dillinger said about the tampering allegations between Wisconsin and Miami. He said, former Wisconsin defensive back Xavier Lucas, who Wisconsin refused to... This part's really important. I should kind of slow down here. Who Wisconsin refused to enter into the transfer portal after he requested a transfer, is leaving the school for Miami. His attorney, Darren Heitner, told Yahoo Sports on Wednesday, a groundbreaking move that may have significant ramifications. The situation is poised to set precedent both in the ability for the schools to enforce revenue-sharing agreements that are contingent on the House settlements passage, and perhaps more importantly, for players entering the transfer portal at any time, even outside the portal windows or without entering the portal at all. I think that's one of the biggest things right there. Being able to enter the transfer portal outside the transfer portal windows and not even have to go through your school to be able to do it, because of course you got to give notice to the school, and they have 24 to 48 hours, I believe it is, to actually enter your name into the transfer portal. So if this situation is going to go to courts, that is a very big possibility that we could see right now, is that you do not even have to enter the transfer portal during those transfer portal windows to actually be able to transfer to another school. So let me know here in the comments section, do you worry about the state of college football right now at all? Whether that's the transfer portal, whether that's NIL, maybe there's plenty of people out there that still don't believe players should end up making money, which I don't necessarily agree on that, but it is what it is. Let me know in the comment section, are you guys worried about the state of college football? Now, like I said a minute ago, this situation is not strictly black and white that a lot of people want to make it out to be. Over the holiday break, Xavier Lucas, that's when he requested his transfer. And during that report, or in that report from Ross Dillinger, he even stated that he went to head coach Luke Fickell and explained the situation that, hey, his dad was diagnosed with a very quote-unquote serious life-threatening illness over the holidays, and he is from Florida. So, in his case, he wanted to be closer to home, to be closer to his family. So, everybody keeps calling for this governing body, to help college football. You see people all the time saying Nick Saban needs to be that guy to, lead college football in the right direction. Well, we had a governing body, and it was the NCAA. Seems right now the NCAA has absolutely no say-so on anything that's going on in college football. They're not enforcing anything because they have no power to enforce anything because they're afraid to get sued at the end of the day. So there needs to be somebody to step up, whether that's a governing body, something. I do agree with that, but you already had that, and you ended up suing those people anyways. But the biggest thing about the NCAA, why are they always getting sued? It's because there was nobody that was willing to be the adult in the room and to make reasonable decisions. Because in my opinion, this is a situation where a kid should be able to end up transferring. You remember back in the day, before the transfer portal, there were some guys that, had to get a waiver from the NCAA whether or not they were allowed to transfer and play immediately or not. And there were a lot of situations like this where, somebody in the family, was dying or something like that. And the NCAA just, super cold-hearted. We're like, absolutely not. If you want to transfer, you have to sit out a year. I don't necessarily think that's fair either. But there definitely needs to be somebody stepping up, the adult in the room, to figure out that this is a massive situation, this is a massive problem, and we really do need to get to the bottom of it.